Welcome back to my kitchen garden. So the garden has taken a bit of a hit actually over the last 3 to 4 weeks because I've been busy decorating indoors. I took on quite a large project which has taken up a huge amount of my time. As a consequence of that, the garden's been quite neglected, but I've had a good look around this morning and I've made a list of jobs that I feel I need to do. So I'm just getting ready with all this compost and farmyard manure, and I'm going to concentrate on a bed at a time. So the sun's shining. So the first issue I'm going to tackle this morning is my courgette. This courgette has not really performed at all well this summer. I've had 3 or 4 courgettes throughout the whole season. They've been tiny and there's clearly been a pollination issue. And I think, as with all of the UK, there has been a lack of pollinators this summer. I think the very wet winter, the cold spring has had a detrimental effect on those insects, and as a consequence of that, plants that need to be pollinated by the insects have really suffered. So for instance, I don't know if you can see this, these fruit, they're just not setting correctly. They've started to develop and then they've just rotted at the end. This is one that's just gone to mush. There's another one there. It's been fed, it's had lots of fresh farmyard manure and nutrient-rich compost put down. It has been watered regularly, but it has never really been happy here, and I really don't know why. So I'm not going to waste my time on this plant. It's coming out, it's going to be composted. And what I'm going to do, I shall give this existing soil a dressing of blood, fish and bone. I shall work that in, and then I'm going to top up the bed with some fresh compost and farmyard manure. And when all that's done, I think what's going to go in here will be my leeks. Suddenly got a bit warm. Let's take the jumper off. So I'm just deadheading these. Give them a chance to produce some more flowers. Plant out my leeks. This is not going to be a tutorial. I've got other videos from the past showing you how to do it. But these are Jolent. I got these from the garden centre because I'd forgot to sow mine back in June, July. So I've got these. These are starters, and I'm going to put them in. I think it suggests 15 centimetres apart. So I've got my dibber. Got a bucket of water to wash away the soil from the roots, and I'll get as many in as I possibly can, and then I'm going to cover them with a net just to protect them from the allium leaf miner. and hopefully the flea beetle. But I've not seen any signs of the flea beetle at all this summer, and I've got some wild garlic, and they were attacked at one point, I think it was last year. They've certainly not been attacked this year, so they're a good indication of whether I've got flea beetle in the garden again or not. Oh, that's me done for the day. That netting is, well, it just doesn't fit. I've cut loads off, but the corners are just so bulky. So I've done the best that I can, because I really don't want flea beetles or allium leaf miners. And the other netting that I've got, which is easier to work with, which is the same as this, the grade is too large, so it just wouldn't protect them at all. So that's pretty fine, but then it makes it stiffer and harder to work with. But it'll do for now. And before I wrap up for this evening, let me just show you my cauliflower. So they're all doing really, really well. There's a few nibbles, but I think it's slug. I really cannot find any caterpillars in there. And of the two broccoli, one of them's been absolutely mullered. So I've put a slug collar around it, see if that'll make any difference. If that starts to recover, then I know that it's definitely slugs and that there's not a rogue caterpillar in there somewhere. But they're looking good. So I don't think there's a garden in the land that isn't without its challenges, and this year in particular has just been really, really difficult. The weather really hasn't helped at all. The lack of pollination, as I've already discussed. Well, now I've discovered, well, I kind of saw it but was a bit blinkered and chose to ignore it. But another issue I've discovered in the garden is strawberry wilt. Now, I'm absolutely devastated about this because I had the best harvest ever of my strawberries this year. I've been growing them for decades, and this spring I gave a huge amount of attention to the bed that I transferred all the plants to, and they rewarded me with the most amazing harvest ever. And yet now, I'll turn the camera around and show you in a minute, I've lost plant after plant. There's only a few left in the bed and they've clearly got wilt, so I'm going to have to remove it. Now the problem with this is that it can infect other plants. It stays in the soil for years. So at this stage I haven't really done enough research to know what to do about it. I think I'm going to lift each plant as carefully as I can and put it into a bin bag. Now it does say, I think it was on the RHS site or was it Gardeners World site, one of the two, did say that you can put it in the council wheelie bins because they're processed in such a way that it should kill all the pathogens. I don't know whether I agree with that or not, because I think the compost that we've been buying over the last few years since there's been all these council collections, the quality of the compost has just gone downhill rapidly. So I'm in two minds what to do with this soil, whether to just bag it up and take it down the dump. If you've got any ideas, please can you put them in the comments below. But I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you. So my gardening assistant, Mr. Paddy's joined me, but as you can see, there's a plant been removed in this corner. That one's died, that one's died, that one's dying, died. That's clearly got it in the middle. This one too. And this one. So I'm trying to remember how many plants I had. I had 15 plants in there, and now I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 and they're all infected. So yeah, that's all coming out. It's so frustrating. So I've just spent an hour scouring the internet for the best way of dealing with this bed, assuming that it is, how do you pronounce it, Verticillium Wilt. So I'm not entirely sure that it was that, but I'm going to assume the worst. But I couldn't find anything that actually told me what to do with the bed, so I have resorted to my little gardening troubleshooter's Bible, and it's actually got the best advice in there, I think, for me. And it just says destroy the plants and grow a different crop on the site. So I know that I need to disinfect that tray and wash my hands, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I will need to disinfect this rake as well. So that's the second bed sorted. I think that's going to be for my broad beans. The leeks I put in the other day, the roots are pulling them upright. and over the next week or so they'll get even stronger. The last bit of sun on the collies. So I think tomorrow I might deal with this bed because the beans, these are the Golden Gate, they've got rust, and the last beans on there have got black fly. So I've picked everything that was viable, but that lot's going. So this is my pongo. It's the only one I've got, and that is really badly infected with rust. So where I was saving the beans for seed for next year, that's not viable now, so I've picked them for tea. And likewise with the Purple Queen, they've all got to go. So I've picked off everything that I can, and no point saving seed of those. So that's all going. And then the runner beans and the cobra, I mean everything's got rust. It's such a shame, and I don't know if it's the environment, the weather, but I've had bumper crops, so I've got nothing to complain about. And if I'll show you in a minute what's in the kitchen, I've just picked a really nice amount. I've just pulled these as well for my tea. And that's it for today. I'm just going to put everything away. I'm going to do my dinner, and hopefully I'll be able to carry on sorting out this garden tomorrow. What a strange sky. So just as I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to remove these beans because they've got rust. It's quite advanced, and there's no point trying to save the seed. Look at this. And here, there's actually covered in black fly. So all down here. down here. Sorry, the aircraft's very loud today. It's the RAF Lake and Heath. So yeah, we've got a lot of jets. I think F-15s and F-35s. If anyone who's interested. Alright, let's get these down. I think that's it for today, everybody. I'm really pleased with what I've achieved this week. I have managed to prep 4 beds now ready for autumn and overwinter planting. My suspicion about the strawberry wilt is still not confirmed, but yeah, that was very sad to lose all of those. But I took some runner cuttings, or when did I do that? In the middle of the summer. They're in the greenhouse, they're still doing well, so hopefully I'll be able to plant those out in the spring or maybe later autumn. What else have I done? I've planted up my leeks, so I'm really pleased they're out now. The cauliflowers and the 2 broccoli are doing okay. So overall it's been a pretty productive week, so I'm really pleased about that. I've got a ticket for RHS Malvern Autumn Show for next Sunday, and hopefully meeting up with lots of other YouTubers, so I'm pretty excited about that. So hopefully there'll be a little bit of footage in the following video of meeting up with everybody. So yeah, a really good week. Feeling very positive now. So if you are new to my channel and you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell icon for future notifications, and leave a comment and I'll get back to you first opportunity that I get. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. I'm Annie and this is my kitchen garden.